Tauya Mochizuki, a teenage boy, died in his world at such a young age because of a blunder made by a god as he dropped lighting on him. He apologized for his mistake and told him that he would resurrect him in a different world where magic is possible. The god granted him a wish by letting him take his smartphone to another world. Tauya rebirthed under a tree, where the god called his phone and told him that he would be able to use maps on his phone too. A man on a wagon confronted Tauya, impressed with his weird clothing, and offered him any amount of money he would want. He took him to his cloth shop and bought all the clothes he had for gold coins. While going to an inn to stay, Tauya came across two girls who were trying to sell deer antelope but started getting bullied by the buyers. The god also rewarded him with some basic fighting skills, which he easily after he defeated the bullies. He followed the two girls to the Silver Moon Inn, as they were also staying there. He journaled his whole day on his smartphone, and then he accompanied the two sisters to guild the next morning. He realized that he is still not able to read and write the language of this new world, and similarly, he cannot read the quest advertisements. He agreed to form a party with the two sisters to defeat 5 single-horned wolves for 18 copper coins. Tauya bought some weapons for himself and got the position of vanguard in the party. The party defeated 6 wolves easily in unity and submitted the rest of the horns for the rewards. He asked the two sisters to teach him how to read and write and was able to convince them to do the same. When he asked them to also teach him magic, he was totally surprised to know that magic can only be done by those who have an aptitude for it. Both of the sisters were astonished to see that Tauya has the aptitude for all 6 elements, including null magic. The two sisters told him that not many people in the world are able to use null magic, which is not exactly similar to other magics but can take different forms like forming gates or fortifying magic. Tauya wondered if the null magic could work really well for him, as through gate magic he would be able to easily travel to different places at once. Suddenly, the chef of the nearby restaurant appeared in front of them and told them that she would like to add a dish to her menu, a dish that is light as well as famous with women. Tauya advised them to add ice cream. Everyone was confused to hear the name. Tauya took out his smartphone, which is supposedly a magic device, and wrote the recipe for the same. Everyone loved the new dish, while the two sisters were still confused to see the new magic device he was carrying with him. Tauya researched more about the world and got to know that this is a new world where magic and magical beasts exist. But it's not a problem because he has his smartphone and the abilities the god gave him. Two sisters and Tauya accepted the request to deliver the letter to the royal capital as they went out to search for an inn. The party was confronted by a samurai girl getting bullied by a few men. Tauya saved her from them, and all of them ran away from the police to a safer place. They fed the samurai girl in a nearby restaurant, and she agreed to temporarily join them there as she also wanted to go to the royal capital just like them to challenge her strength. Tor, the samurai girl, helped the party by handing the horse on their way to the royal capital as one of the two sisters told them more about null magic or personal magic. Tauya learned how to use magic to attract small, distant objects by using the book, as they wondered if he could pickpocket people like that. Next, he learned the magic to increase a person's senses over long distances. The moment he used the spell, he was able to smell some blood around him as they moved their horse cart quickly towards the smell. They encountered a lot of lizard men as they moved forward, but all 4 of them worked in pure unity and were able to save each other. The soldiers fighting them previously thanked the party. But suddenly the little girl in the carriage cried for help in hope of curing his butler, who got hurt by an arrow. Tauya used his various null magics and was able to save his life. The girl introduced herself as the daughter of the Duke of the area. While the daughter of the Duke was returning from her grandmother's house, someone intentionally hired the men to kill her. The Duke's daughter hired Tauya and his party in order to protect her until they reached the royal city, as they wouldn't be able to do so by themselves. The party and the Duke's daughter finally reached the royal capital. The Duke was really glad to see her daughter and showed his gratitude to Tauya. While talking to him about this, he told Tauya about his wife, who lost her ability to see recently and is not able to heal. It can only be healed by a special kind of null magic. Everyone in the party's eyes started gleaming as they knew that Tauya could do any kind of null magic. Tauya healed the Duke's wife and made him and his family really happy. To show his gratitude, the Duke gifted him with 10 platinum coins and the Duke's support badge. The badge would help them use special things only available to nobility as they bid farewell to the Duke and his family. Tauya and the sister finished their job of delivering the letter, and now that they were about to return to the Reflect City, the samurai girl announced that she had decided to offer herself to Tauya and wanted to travel around with him only, as all of them planned to move back to the guild to make the samurai girl a part of their party. While walking down the roads of the royal city, Tauya observed demi-humans in abundance, unlike Reflect City. They suddenly saw a little demi-human who was really confused and scared. She told them that she got separated from her companion, but now she couldn't find the place. Taoya used his smartphone's maps and left the girl in the requested place. The party agreed to meet at the same place in 2 hours, and they could walk around and shop for themselves by then. After 2 hours, Taoya got late by half an hour as he presented everyone with his coat to resist others' magic and then started moving towards Reflet City. In Moonlight Inn, the two shopkeepers were playing shogi, which was built by Taoya using a wooden box. Els and Yi returned from the sweet shop and asked Taoya to deliver the sweet to the Duke. Su and the Duke's family got really happy to eat the roll cake. He promised the Duke that he would teach the recipe to the main chef of the mansion, and then he could eat it every day. Next, Taoya presented him with shogi, and the Duke was shocked to see the game. Both of them kept on playing the whole day without giving a break to Taoya. The next day, Taoya and the others in the party went to the Royal Guild to choose a task for themselves. They took the quest of the Headless Soldier. The party again fought with unity and finally defeated the Headless Soldier, finishing with Taoya's huge light magic. As they were wondering if there would be any treasures in the royal ruin, Taoya used his skillful search to find any historic relics and was able to find one. They entered a cave under the ruins and used their earthenware to open the gate to the relic. The relic absorbed the illuminating light magic and grew up into a beetle. As the ruins started shattering, the party evacuated out of the cave. The beetle came out of the place and started fighting the party. It was able to regenerate and absorb magic, and they were having a hard time fighting it back. Urza got injured by the beetle but was healed by Taoya. Taoya used his magic to summon nearby things around him and summoned the main relic core in his hand, which was instantly destroyed by Urza defeating the beetle. The party thought for a bit and decided that Taoya and the party would go and talk to the Duke about it, as he is official. The Duke told them that he would instantly release an expedition group to investigate the ruins. He also showed him pictures of the ruins to see if he could help. He printed all the pictures of the ruin and arrived back to the Duke in some time. When the Duke was just about to leave, he told Taoya to accompany him immediately as his brother, the king, was sick. The Duke informed Taoya that his brother was likely poisoned by the nobles of the opposing trade with the kingdom of Mismead. It is a newly established kingdom by a beast man. The king was planning to form an alliance with the mimes. If the king dies, the throne will be passed to the eldest daughter, Princess Yumina. The Duke told him that he is sure that it is the work of a person who is a part of the political marriage with Princess Yumina. He requests that Taoya use his spell recovery to remove the poison from the king's body. The moment they reached the royal palace, the count approached them with his evil looks and smirk on his face. He told the Duke that they had found the culprit, who was a person from the Mismead kingdom. Both Taoya and Duke approached the king, and Taoya used his special spell and saved the lord. Everyone was surprised to see this and also thanked him for saving the king. The king summoned the beastman, who was accused of trying to kill the king. It was the sister of the beast girl Taoya found in the city who was not able to find her companion. Taoya asked them to let him enter the room where the king collapsed, and he used his search magic to find the poison. Next, he asked everyone, including the count, to summon themselves into the room. He tricked Count Balsa into thinking that he had given him the same cup in which the king was served wine. The moment he drank from the glass, he started acting as if he were poisoned. Taoya cleared that the poison had been removed from the glass, but also proved that the count was the real culprit. The king and the princess got totally flattened by the wise nature of Taoya, and they thanked him for his deeds. The princess suddenly stood up and confronted the king, saying that she wants to marry Taoya and has decided on her husband. Taoya got really shocked and was told that they don't even know a bit about him. The princess had mystic eyes, which let her see the true personality of a person, so there will be no issue. After a lot of discussion, it was decided that for 2 years, both of them would try to get to know each other, and then it would all be decided. Suddenly, the god called Taoya and congratulated him on his engagement and also told him about polygyny. The next day, everyone in the party was shocked to get the news, as the princess also wanted to join their party. The princess decides to register herself in the guild and join the party officially. Princess showed off her summoning magic and impressed Taoya as she summoned the wolf. The wolf brought the apes, which were supposed to be defeated according to the quest. The party and the princess defeated the apes with unity. Once the party returned, the princess taught Taoya magic as she promised. The first summon of Taoya was a white heavenly magic beast, a tiger. The tiger formed a pact with him once he saw his potential and turned into a small cat for everyone, naming him Kohaku. The party is again out for another quest, but this one is Kohaku's first one. The girls are not really happy, as this time they may have to fight the slimes. The party reached the slime castle as Taoya entered. One slime fell on his head in the shape of a wash basin, then ran away. They reached a room like a library, where they found a book that had details about all the slimes that had formed in the mansion. As they moved forward, they came across a horde of green slime all over the place. Taoya asked not to burn the place and to run up the stairs. The green slime didn't come up the stairs as they were bound to the territory, but the lubricating slime secreted liquids, and all the girls fell down to the green slime. The green slime was about to eat all their clothes but was saved by Taoya. They moved forward with substitute cloths to a special kind of slime that can be used by women as breast milk. The party entered the final room, where they found a skeleton that looked like the researcher who created these slimes. He wrote in a letter that he had found heaven for the men as a slime that got in front of them turned into a girl. The girls in the party instantly evacuated the place as they set the whole castle on fire, and then left. On Kohaku's request, Taoya was showing him the human city when they suddenly saw Yi near a little girl. The girl replied to Kohaku, as he seemed so friendly. Taoya used his magic on his smartphone and instantly found Lim and the little girl's family. The mother was talking to the policeman when they found her, and both of them were really happy to meet again. He asked Taoya to help her meet her brother, whom she has not met since the beginning of her journey. She gave him the details of her brother as Taoya told her exactly the details of her location, and she got really happy. One of the sisters confronted Taoya and asked for his help in learning some close combat spells. Taoya followed her outside to try the spell. At first she was unable and also lost her mana. Taoya helped her and even recovered her magic, after which she learned to do it. The other sister confronted Taoya that evening about her broken weapon and asked him to take her to the royal capital, where she could buy a better replacement. After buying the replacement, she saw a beautiful outfit for her sister. Taoya told her that it would even look good on her and bought the dress for her as a gift. The princess received a letter from the royal palace, in which the king wrote that he would like to present him with a knighthood as a reward for solving the case. The king offered Taoya a mansion instead when he declined their offer to win knighthood. At first, all of them were a bit hesitant about living in the mansion with everyone, as they were thinking that it was just a house for Taoya and the princess to live in. But Taoya told them that he liked all four of them equally. The four of them discussed something, and Taoya confirmed that he would treat all four of them equally. Liam, the same man he saved from the attack of the lizardmen, agreed to become the butler of the mansion, and he also brought a team to help them through this. The maid informed Taoya that the Duke and her daughter had arrived to meet with him. Her daughter congratulated him on his engagement. The Duke informed him about the alliance the nation is planning with the kingdom of Mismead, so in order to discuss the matter, he would like Taoya to send the king to the place using his gate to avoid any danger. Hence, he ordered Taoya to go and visit the kingdom of Mismead. The people of the Mismead kingdom arrived as Taoya and his party joined them in their journey to the Mismead kingdom. They kept on playing and having fun in the wagon, and when they stooped by in the night, they were confronted by hordes of mountain bandits but were easily paralyzed by Taoya. The party noticed that Lion, the knight, had fallen for Olga, who is the ambassador, and decided to help Lion. Once they arrived on the land of Mismead, Lion stopped by a shop to buy a souvenir for Olga. They helped him choose the right one individually, and then they left. Linz got seasick from their travel in the sea, and Taoya had to piggyback her to land. While talking to everyone, Taoya suddenly felt like someone was observing him, but he wasn't able to find anyone. The journey began again. While everyone was getting fresh, suddenly they heard a voice. Taoies came running to the ambassador as they saw a huge dragon above them. Taoya told everyone that the dragon was going towards the Eld village. By the time they reached the village, it was on fire. Taoya and Kohaku misdirected the dragon and forced it to follow them. Once the dragon was away from the village, they attacked the dragon and cut off his wings. The others came too and helped them knock the dragon down. Taoya used the ice wall to form a lens, then used light magic to completely destroy the dragon. Suddenly, a huge red dragon appeared behind them. This dragon wasn't here to attack them. He apologized and introduced himself as the Azure Monarch Dragon. He respected Taoya for being the master of the White Monarch and then left the place. The whole night after that, the party worked hard and rebuilt the village as much as they could. Taoya got tired and finally slept leaning against the tree. The soldiers of the Mismead Kingdom were shocked to see Taoya and his party do wonders like this by themselves. The village elders awarded Taoya with a fang of the dragon for defeating it and saving the village. The party continued its journey and finally reached the royal capital of Mismead, Burge. Olga greeted the king and the other knights. He thanked the party of Taoya, and then the princess gave him the letter written by the king after her introduction. Suddenly, the king asked Taoya if he would like to spar with him. Both of them appeared in the arena, and one of the ministers asked him to totally thrash the king as he jumped to fight strong people. As the match started, Taoya used his slip magic and instantly defeated the king. The king started ranking him and asked him to fight again without the slip magic. He learned the king's null magic and even had a ferocious fight with him. But in the end, the king was defeated as he accepted his loss. In the evening party held by the king, everyone in his party wore nice dresses. The king was surprised to see his recording magic and how he was able to print the picture on paper. After the party, a small teddy bear-looking soft toy came to Taoya and asked him to follow it. He then brought Taoya to a little girl sitting on a throne. The little girl introduces herself as the elder of the fairies folk. He learned a new ancient null magic from the girl, but then ran away from her when she asked him to be her apprentice. The next morning, he and the other 2 members of his party left for the forest and then used the fang of the dragon to create a gun from it. While Taoya was returning from the forest, all of them decided to eat the traditional food of the nation. Suddenly, he felt like someone was watching him again. He commanded Kohaku to protect the girls as he used non-magic to follow the people spying on him. He captured the 2 spies, and what a show to see that they worked his maids from the mansion. The girls told him that they are under the royal majesty and that he is following them just to protect the princess. When he tried the traditional food of the nation, even though it was very tasty, it was very spicy. After having the dish, they left for the royal palace. He used his null magic gate too late. The kings of both nations met each other, and he finally finished his quest given by the duke. Taoya and his party returned to their mansion after taking lots of gifts from the nation using the null magic gate. After the whole trip, he was very tired. He lied down on his bed as he watched all the pictures he clicked through his journey. The next morning he woke up and opened the gate just to see all the girls changing by mistake and got a whole long lecture for the same. Toya then moves to the garden, where he uses the rubber and other resources to create bicycles. The Duke confronted him and thanked him for all he did for him as a favor. Toya made a bicycle for everyone and let them learn to ride one. The Duke asked him to build one for his daughter and also promised to pay all the costs that would be needed to create one. While walking through the market to buy the material, he observed bullies harming a small child. He instantly ran towards them and saved the child using his rubber bullet. He gave the little girl some food as she had been hungry for 3 days. He then asked her to work in his mansion if she promised not to pick pockets ever again. He brought the little girl as a servant for the mansion but forgot to buy the material, and hence had to come again to the market, where he found Arma. There they found Olga, the ambassador, and the night they were tailing back he then found the king of Mismead as they watched the couple talking to each other. Suddenly, a fight broke out in the nearby shop, and Beast King and Taoya helped to stop the fight. He then assisted the knight in telling his true feelings to Olga, which made the couple happy. When he returned to his mansion, he was confronted by the same little girl he found back in the Beast Kingdom and her teddy bear. She was there to inquire about the crystal beast he fought a few months ago. She told him that a few days ago she was informed about a crack in the sky, and when she reached the place to observe it by herself, the village near it was totally destroyed by a similar monster. She called the demon phrase as she told them that she would keep on visiting them now that she was the ambassador of the Mismead Kingdom. She asked him to take her to a place using his null magic gate far in the east to Ishan to research the ruins in the place. He used the memories of the samurai girl to get the details of the Ishan Kingdom, and then he opened the gate to the Ishan Kingdom using her memories. The party decided to talk to the samurai girl's father as he would know more about the location. They reached her hometown, Edo. The party followed Yi in the city and reached her home, where she met her family and introduced the party to them. She asked her family where her father was and was shocked to learn that he was on the battlefield with King Ieyasu. The party decided to go into the battlefield in order to aid her father. Taoya decided to go in first and then link up the gate for others to come too. He slowly entered the room where everyone was and met Judaru, who is Yi's brother. Then he let the others in the party meet them too. He used his smartphone and programmed it to heal everyone in the room. He next defeated all the opponents in the field who were rushing towards them in just one blow. The party next met the Ishan king and Yi's father and introduced themselves. The king told the party that the Taiktas may attack again. But there is a twist. The leader of the Taikta clan has already passed away, and now a Dark Lord is leading them with his dark magic. They were hesitating a bit about how they would be able to fight the Taikta army when Taoya stood up and told them that they would handle it by themselves. Taoya asked the girl who came with the letter of the Taleta general to imagine the place, and using her memory, she reached the outer Taikta boundaries. They turned invisible using Lean's magic and infiltrated the castle. They reached the place where this king was imprisoned. Taoya freed the king and other comrades who were in prison. After gathering together, they collected some weaponry for themselves and reached the magic talisman to destroy it and disable the magic field. He then again used his mobile phone and did massive multiple attacks on the Oni mask soldiers, completely annihilating them. As they reached the main boss of the fight, the king of the Taekta clan was made to fight against them using the Dark Lord's magic. Taoya used his gun and defeated Oyakata-sama at once, which shocked the Dark Lord himself. He instantly removed the covering of his eyes and showed his bright red eye. Taoya didn't take even a second and used his sticky finger skill to snatch the immortal gem in his eye. The gem was cursed to turn the user's heart evil. Taoya and Lin decided to destroy the artifact as it was dangerous to everyone, and the moment they destroyed it, the Dark Lord turned into ashes. The folks of the Taekta clan started restoring the capital as they told Taoya that the ruins they were trying to find were on the seafloor near an island. After bidding farewell to Yi-san's family, they used the gate to move towards the sea. Everyone was astonished to witness the beautiful sea right in front of their eyes. They decided to return to Belfast and buy some swimsuits for themselves, as they are not able to witness a beautiful water body every day. He also invited the king and the duke's family to enjoy their time in the Ishan Sea. Everyone got really happy, and Taoya built a tent and resting area for everyone, with an area to change clothes too. Everyone changed into their respective outfits and started flaunting them to Taoya one by one. As they started going into the water to enjoy themselves and have fun, the queens and mistress of the duke lied down under the shade. After settling everyone, Taoya met Lin, who was also out waiting for him. Both of them decided to continue their research about the ruins on the sea floor. Taoya tried to go deep in the sea to the ruins, but as he was about to reach them, he had to come out of the water to breathe. It was evident that they needed to do something in order to function inside the water. Taoya asked Lin if she knew of any spells that could help him breathe underwater, but she denied it and apologized as she didn't remember anything as such. She even asked her old student, now the head mage of the kingdom, but she was also clueless about the same. Kohaku, the White Emperor, advised them to call the Black Emperor, as he could help them function underwater. Taoya accepted the advice, and both of them mixed their magical energy on an uphill. Kohaku told everyone that the Black Emperor is not a single entity but two creatures standing together. The moment they summoned the Black Emperor, a turtle-like creature with a snake around it appeared. They looked down on Kohaku and questioned the capabilities of the Taoya. They asked Taoya to prove himself by fighting with them, and if he is able to withstand them and keep on standing on his legs by dawn, they will accept their loss. Taoya cast an infinity look of slip skill that kept the Black Emperor busy and incapable of attacking anyone else. Once they got fed up, they had no choice but to accept their loss and form a pact with Taoya. He named both of them Kokayu and Sango and asked them to turn into a smaller and less deviant form. They told him that they would be easily able to send him underwater, but Taoya postponed the expedition a bit as he wanted to have fun with the others in the sea. The other girls got really jealous to see Taoya keep on talking with Lin, even though he was just talking about work. After having fun until sunset was close, Taoya decided to finally go look at the ruins. He used the Black One's ability and started his expedition. As he moved forward to find a water magic stone, the moment he thrust his mana into the stone, the place lit up. Taoya suddenly got transported to a beautiful garden. A girl approached them and greeted him in the aerial garden of Babylon. But why is she not wearing anything down below? Taoya got really awkward as he asked Francesca, the girl who greeted her, to wear something other than pants. She told him that he is right now on the aerial garden of Babylon, flying in the air. She also briefed him that this place is the professed Babylon's hobby. The Black Emperor told him that the girl is not a living being and does not have any flow of life, as the girl told him that she was built by the Professor 5092 years ago for garden maintenance. The girl told him that he is now her true master after 5092 years, as she has chosen him to be compatible with her. On the other side, the girls are still playing in the water. Taoya opened the gate to the beach and invited everyone there to the aerial garden. Sesev also told everyone that this is the remains of the Partheno civilization. The princess asked the other girls to come for a walk and excuse them. She started discussing the same topic she did quite a bit back when they moved to the mansion. She asked them if they would like to be Taoya's brides, as they all love him too. Francesco told everyone that the aerial garden was a huge entity that had broken into pieces and was now floating freely in the world. Now, even though everyone was sitting there, all the girls were really red and shy at the thought of Taoya marrying them. As they were discussing, Francesco told everyone that the garden also has a granary and library, and they had met the garden twice since its creation. Moving forward, Taoya asked the girl what she would be doing now. Francesco replied that she would like to live with him forever, which really annoyed the other girls. She told everyone that the garden is left on autopilot and can take care of itself. Even though there is no relic or weapon in it, the garden itself is a treasure. She suddenly stood up and looked at Taoya and asked him to complete the registration. She said that she instantly kissed him passionately and told him that now the ownership of the garden has been given to him and also that she has registered Tauya's genetic information too. All the girls were totally shocked to see this. They were speechless, as none of them was expecting such a thing to happen. Suddenly one of the sisters stood up, looked at him, and told him that she loved him as she also kissed him. Franceso and others arrived back at the mansion as Tauya handed Seso to the head butler and returned to his room after the long, tiring day. Suddenly Yumina entered his room and told him that she was angry that he hadn't kissed her yet. The moment he kissed her, Linz appeared suddenly in the room. Yumina told him that it is common and a proof of masculinity for kings to have multiple wives, and he should accept Linz. Tauya accepted both of them as his fiancées and bid them goodnight kisses. The next morning, the other two girls approached him and asked him to fight with them. If they win, he has to accept one request made by them. After defeating Tauya, both of them also proposed to him and asked him to make them his fiancée. He asked all the girls to give him some time to think about all of this and come up with the right decision. He returned to the garden, as he was wondering all about his decision. Suddenly Franceso confronted him and gave him a cord. The moment he connected the cord to his mobile phone, a VR 3D form of the creator was formed right in front of him. She told him that the world 5,000 years ago was really advanced, and the phrase were demeaning the word, but suddenly all of them disappeared. She also mentioned that she can see the future, so she will be able to answer him in real time. She also told him that the phrase will return in the future, so he must keep himself ready. After the VR call ended, Tauya decided to go see the god and clear his doubts. The god told him that he should talk to the specialist in such matters, as he called the god of love. The god of love instantly appeared, listened to Tauya's story and problem, and told him that it is not wrong to love, and he can be selfish with his requirements. After a nice discussion with both the gods, Tauya thanked them both and returned to his mansion. After thinking a bit more, he asked Kohaku to call all four of them. He confessed to them that even though he is not marrying any of them right now, he will eventually marry them as he is not mature enough to take on their responsibility for now. El suddenly stood up and asked him to kiss her too, as he did Yumina and her sister yesterday night. Tauya agreed to kiss her and pulled towards him. Els got so awkward that she punched him down. He ranted a bit as she wanted Tauya to kiss her too, while Lean, Charlotte and others were watching all of this happen outside. Franceso told everyone that according to the prediction of her creator, Miss Babylon, Tauya would end up with 9 wives in the end, as they wondered who would be the 9 girls he'd marry. A few days later, while Tauya was walking by the road talking to the god, he suddenly saw a young boy in the shop who was trying to pay in some different currency. The boy seemed a bit different as he instantly noticed the mobile phone in Tauya's pocket. Tauya paid the shopkeeper instead of him, but who is this boy named End? We are going to know this only in season 2, so don't forget to subscribe the channel for this. If you like this recap, then like the video. I will meet you in another video. Till then, bye.